place. As you can tell, I am 3 minutes late because, well, basically I messed up my washing, and yeah, I would have had to go into work naked tomorrow, which would have been very inappropriate. I probably would have been fired. So yes, but so here in Baku then it's well, I got one of the admins are ringing me, so I think I'm in a I might be in the doghouse here. Anyway, yeah, let's get on with it at the moment then. So let's just take a quick look to see what's going on. So yeah, as I said, we're here in Azerbaijan, one of the most unusual places to have a race, isn't it? A bit like Monaco, really, isn't it? Where they just decided to stick it in the city, really, of Baku. Anyway, yeah, we're of course we're below sea level. I think this is the only track where we're below sea level. And let's just take a quick look to see who's here tonight. Of course, unfortunately, I haven't got Laggy Race here tonight. He is a bit busy. But in his place we have a debutant in ALR. A lot of the guys that know a lot about sim racing will recognise the name now of Not That Bad, who is the of course filling in for Laggy Racer. Of course, we also have Emerson Hilton, who of course is making his debut for McLaren, and of course he is replacing Dave, who Dave unfortunately was unable to join us, and another new driver as well, Chaos Lever, of course, from the other side of the Atlantic. So it's good to see that Chaos Lever has joined us tonight, and you may also recognise another name which a lot of people might be a bit concerned by, and well, I ain't concerned by it at all, to be honest, because I think it's great to see. It's great to see, and I haven't put the Formula 1 in the title. Anyway, yes, it's, so we're about to get underway now, as I'm just having a quick look. Of course, Dave unfortunately is unable to race tonight, which is a shame. So, so yeah, Dave was just said in the comments, and Todd, of course, driving the, of course, in the Haas this week. This is the first race this season where he has actually stayed in the same car. So, so well done to Todd then. Of course, then as good to everyone. I think as Mr. Elite there is out there at the moment. Let's just take a look. Twang is returning now. Of course, that epic race that he did in Bahrain. It is Bahrain, isn't it? Just taking a look quick. It's probably one of the most hardest tracks on the actual season. I think this is the most difficult track. I would actually rate this higher, more difficult than Monaco. I think I was chatting to a couple of drivers about this a couple of weeks ago, just watching XR now in the Toro Rosso. So he's just about to complete his lap now. So at the moment, Emerson going fast at the moment. He is in the McLaren, of course. He is one of our reserves, and I tell you what, he is looking a bit phenomenal at the moment, isn't he, Emerson? Brilliant stuff. Of course, so where does XR go? So he goes full fast at the moment. So they're all on the soft compound tires. Remember, this is just qualifying one, Q1. And so at the moment we have Emerson fastest, silent shift in. Of course, an epic race last time out in China where he won, incredibly enough. Brilliant return there. Of course, Elite in third, XR fourth. Not that bad in fifth position at the moment. Kyle Kennan has gone into the wall somewhere. Of course, Kyle Keno, I think I should be saying, of course, in the Alfa Romeo. And we got Renzo just about to finish it up at the moment. Let's have a look. Twang now, who, to be honest, won the Bahrain Grand Prix on track, but unfortunately he didn't. But unfortunately, he had a penalty, didn't he? Which is a big blow indeed. To be honest, it was such a shame. It was very heartbreaking for Twang. But of course, I think Twang has shown no speed, hasn't he? Over the course of his ALR career, but as he's now coming back into the pits, you can see the pit. He got so very down quickly. That's beautifully done from Twang there, expertly done. Anyway, yeah, so we got 7 cars then, as you can see. That's Kyle Kenner just recovering. So we've got Bo down at the moment as the Mercedes driver, and he is now just he's now on his outlaw at the moment. So yeah, Emerson at the moment is on pole, is fast at the moment. A silent shift in second, Elite in third, XL fourth, not that bad in fifth. Kyle Keno is in sixth position, and seventh position is Renzo. And I got to say, I'm very pleased to say we have almost a full grid. It's the most drivers we've had this season in ALR. So great to see the grid is starting to build up. But anyway, let's turn our attentions now to the drivers and the constructors table, shall we? So at the moment, Farf has got quite a decent lead at the moment. I think he's got a 28-point lead over Jonathan Cox, who is second. Jonathan is here. So third position is Granty Boycos. Granty was shown on the way in China, wasn't he? An absolutely fantastic drive from Granty. and he's third at the moment. Nosey is up to fourth. Silent shifting, a great drive from him, was in fifth position. Sixth position for Elite. Dan Murphy is in seventh position. Twango, because he missed out, didn't he, in China? He's dropped down several positions actually. He's dropped down to 8. Hunter is down in ninth position. A pretty disappointing start for Hunter. And Bowden is in 10th position. But in the constructors, let's just take a look at the constructors, because I think the constructors is just as important as the drivers, as I'm probably the only person. And in the constructors, we do have Red Bull, of course. At the moment, they won the constructors first time out, and of course they're also dominating once again. Well, they didn't dominate; they're 11 points in front of Racing Point to a second. Third position is the Williams. Williams, of course, that was boosted by that incredible drive from Silent Shifting last time out, so they've moved right up to third. Mercedes has dropped down to fourth. Ferrari are fifth at the moment, so again a good result for Ferrari, and they're up to fifth now. Toro also down to sixth, with Alfa Romeo moving up, Haas dropping down, with Renault ninth, and McLaren at the moment is in 10th position. And so that's how it is at the moment. In terms of the quality, as we're just about to, as Bowden is just about to, as we got retirement, and Bowden almost going into the wall there, just scraping the wall there. At the moment, in terms of qualifying battles, Farf has not been out qualified by his teammate this season. He has had a couple of teammates so far, but he's never been out qualified by any of his teammates so far this season. Same with Nosey as well. Nosey has got quite a good qualifying record as well. So those are the qualifying. I'll go for the qualifying battles a bit later on, because I don't really edited that well. Anyway, enough about my awful Excel skills. So Bowden goes at 5th fast at the moment on a 140. Good stuff from Bowden. Broke Gorilla's out there at the moment, because Broke Gorilla had a fantastic race here last season, didn't he? Absolutely phenomenal stuff, and you can see both Mercedes. I wonder if they're trying to do the Ascension. The Ascension can be very powerful around here. Just having a look at Granty Boy now. Granty Boy, of course, was the class of the field, wasn't he, in China? Started from near enough the back of the field, but come through to finish an amazing third position. An absolutely phenomenal drive from Granty Boy, and I think he's thrown his hat in the ring, hasn't he? This is looking very good. He's on the hard compound tyres at the moment, everyone else on the soft compound tyres. Jonathan Cox has just said, good evening to all drivers and Sean. Thanks Jonathan. Of course, he's taking in a championship at the moment and hoping to build on his very good start to the season. And just taking a look then, so Granty Boy does a 141 there. I think that's just a side to lap at the moment. We're on board Twang now. Of course, usually is definitely one of the fans' favourites, isn't he? Twang is. Of course, he's usually on the comments section, and if he ain't on the comments, then that usually means he's in the car. Oh, he's in the wall there in turn 15. Then turn 15 can be very perilous indeed, can it? We're just coming up to end the first qualifying session now, so of course we're right in it straight away. And I think that, to be honest, that's good news for you guys. So you don't have to hear me talking rubbish really at the start of the stream. So we're in it straight away, and action from the get-go at the moment. And of course, Nigel, our returning champion, the first ever ALR champion, and of course clinched it in Abu Dhabi last season in phenomenal style as well. He didn't win the last 2 races, did he, in his ALR career? So Nigel is looking forward. He is back in the paddock, and once again he's back in the Red Bull as well. So Nigel, so we're looking good to see what Nigel can do then. I'm really looking forward to seeing what his progress is tonight, and how he's finding the 2019 cars. On board Gunnar, of course. Gunnar had a couple of scrapes last week, didn't he, with the newcomer Laggy Racer? But of course, Gunnar is one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, isn't he? And he's been very loyal to our to us. So we're happy to see and we would miss Gunnar if he goes. Because I must admit, he's actually one of the. Well, of course, he's a great laugher. He's great in the chat, isn't he? John Foucault goes 5th fast at the moment. And Gunnar then has damaged his front wing, and I think he's coming back in the pits at the moment. Well, broke Gorilla then. Of course, here comes Gorilla in the Haas, and he's just dropping down now into turn 16. He needs to. Oh, Silent Shifting is out. He is in the wall. Silent Shifting is in the wall. That is a big blow. So that is a massive blow for Silent Shifting. Whereabouts? I think it's in this first sector. I think it's in turn 3 or just before turn 3 there, because there's a yellow flag on the straight there. That is a big blow for Silent Shifting. And of course, the man who won in China is out already then, so he's not going to be able to take part in the next part of qualifying then, even if he does Even if he does improve, that's a big blow for Silent Shifting, isn't it? It's very difficult this track in. It's a good job we got 19. It's a good job we got 19 drivers tonight, because I have a feeling that we won't have more than 8 finishing tonight, because this track is very, very dangerous indeed to drive on, isn't it? Our championship leader is out at the moment, and he is starting a lap now in the Red Bull. He's got Nigel, I think. It'd be interesting to see what. Of course, remember. Of course, Farf did drive in a couple of races with Nigel last season, and I think the Farf is much more suited to these 2019 cars, so he has been looking more formidable this season, and it's really good to see that. So at the moment, but no one's touched Emerson at the moment. Emerson, of course, making his debut in the McLaren, looking very strong at the moment. Really is. I think there's a lot of people going to sit up and take notice of that, and they really got Mr. Elite is the closest man at the moment, is 6 seconds of second back, but what can Farf do? It's lovely through the castle section now, very perilous indeed. I think Broke Gorilla is still out there. We've got a yellow flag and free. I think it's someone just getting himself sorted. What about Broke Gorilla then? Broke Gorilla is about to finish his lap now, of course, drawing the Haas, teammate to Hunter, who finished second in the championship last year. Hunter, he's at the moment languishing down in 9th at the moment in the championship, not having a very good start to the season. Broke Gorilla is now just about to finish his lap. And you can see we just got under 5 minutes to go. Well, under 5 minutes ago. We got 400 minutes. That's a great shot, isn't it? I think this is the only track on the counter. Look, there's Far from the background as well. So where does Broke Gorilla come? There's a lovely shot here of Broke Gorilla. Where is he going now? You can see then staying almost through in the, and he goes 11th fastest boat. But what about Farf? Farf goes 2nd fastest. So of course the tracker is getting better and better. So that just shows how quick Emerson is. Wow. I'm looking forward to this, definitely. Of course, at the moment, this is going to be very interesting today. Silent Shifting has just apologised. Silent Shifting did have a qualifying ban, so that's why he retired. So apologies, Silent Shifting, if I didn't mean for that, but you can see that. So he did have a qualifying ban, and he's saying his brain didn't work there. Don't worry, mine never works, to be honest. That's why Charles, I was more of a danger to the drivers, so they put me up here, and just to stay out of mischief. So it's just on board Dan Murphy now. Then, of course, Dan Murphy. Charles, I think Dan Murphy in China really showed his real pace on this game. I feel I think the first 2 races he really, I think he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Really, far from getting out of the way, and I feel that Dan is now starting to really show his hand, and I think I am really looking forward to seeing what he can do. He made a big jump, didn't he? Just on board with Dan now as he's coming through the end of the first sector. You can see them going into a very difficult sector here, the castle section. We've only got 2 minutes to go. People haven't set a time yet. Hunter, Nigel, and Gunnar are all having trouble. Chaos Lever and both Williamsons, unfortunately, looks like they're going to be starting at the back or near the back, so unfortunately for them, and that was I think that was a Toro Rosso there. So who's in danger at the moment? Broke Gorilla is in danger, he needs to get a move on. Granty boy might also need to be looking over his shoulder as well. I think Granty has only done a time on the hard compound tires, and Renzo as well might need to start to put a lap in, but you can see we've got not that bad, and also Bowden out as well. So everyone from Exile, well, Nosey's out there at the moment, but I think Nosey has just popped a time in to go to 5th position, so I think Exile thinks he's safe. Yellow flag in 2. That is not a good sign. That's usually when someone's hit the wall. Where does Murphy go? Murphy goes only 9th so far. Of course, he doesn't like this track, does he, Murphy? But I think he might be disappointed with that effort. He's only got a minute to go, so he can have another go. Hunter's on lap now. Nigel's on lap as well. Gunnar's also on lap. Got a yellow flag in 1. That's right down at the... And Gunnar goes 10 fastest, splitting the Ferraris. Good time there from Gunnar. Of course, Gunnar's been in the top 10 for most of this season. He's looking very comfortable in these cars, isn't he, Gunnar? Broke Gorilla is out of qualifying, unfortunately. Chaos is out as well. Chaos making his debut, so that's unfortunate for them too. And just on board then with Hunter, and here's Nigel. So this is Nigel's first effort in the Red Bull then, of course, the returning champion then. So how is he going to do? How is he going to fare against the new upstarts, really, isn't it? With of course Farford did drive a car. Oh, going very well out of turn 60. That's going to lose a bit of momentum there. But how's he going to do against these new very competitive drivers? Branty boy, of course, the new and improved Dan Murphy. Of course, Jonathan, Nosey, Twango, Mr. Elite, Farf, and Emerson as well. Is Emerson going to get first pole position in his first qualifying session in the ALR? Nigel goes 8th at the moment for Nigel. So I wonder if he might be disappointed with that. Got a couple of comments coming in. I'll have a look at that. And where does Hunter go? Hunter goes up to 9th position. Of course, Hunter is usually pretty good on the street circuits. Broke Gorilla is on an outlap, but I think it's too late for Broke Gorilla. He will be starting in 19th position. There's a Ferrari behind him, and that is not that bad. He's on a quick lap at the moment. That's going to cost him a bit of time. Yellow flag in one, and that's silent. Broke Gorilla is out. So Broke Gorilla finishes the lap. But what about Granty then? Granty gets 2 seconds up. Nigel is retired as well, but Nigel's through. So we are now down to not that Granty boy is in the drop zone at the moment, and so is Renzo. So these are the last 2 men. Kyle Cohen is not going out at all. Not bad. We've seen him held up in the first sector, but and now he's coming across the line. Granty boy goes second fastest. Good time there from Granty boy. Now here comes Renzo. Then he's also second up as well. That second should get him out. Kyle Conan might be the man to be eliminated as well here. And where does Renzo go? Renzo goes up into 11th position. Good time there for Renzo. He's showing that he does show some pace, doesn't he? Not that bad. It's also in the drop zone at the moment. So Kyle Cohen out. Broke Gorilla out, and so is Chaos Lever out as well. Silent Shift, and of course, got qualifying ban, so he will be out. Whoa, yeah, now because out of qualifying is Gunnar. So Gunnar has dropped out of qualifying and is down in 16th position then. So what about Bowden? So Bowden is also improving his time as well because the track is getting better and better. Mr. Elite is out there as well. So these guys don't have to complete a lap now because I think that's it in terms of the knockout stages. But these guys, of course, will want to get a lap in and want to sort it out. And Bowden goes at 12 fast at the moment. What about Mr. Elite? Mr. Elite looking very strong in the at the moment. Very strong indeed in the Alfa Romeo. So, of course, Mr. Elite is become one of the most experienced drivers. And I must admit, we do always highlight the French Grand Prix of how amazing he was in the wet, but I got to say that the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where he qualified third on the grid, didn't he, and he was right up there. And yeah, I think it was a bit unfortunate the way that his race unravelled in that race. But yeah, Mr. Elite is getting better and better, and I think he's really now starting to show his true form here. Well, John, this is a tournament for the books, isn't it? We've got Branch Boy and Farf up there. And of course, but we've got the new boy Emerson just absolutely flying the fly for McLaren. Well, McLaren have not had a very good start to the constructors, unfortunately. Only got a point so far. But of course, I think that is not the true representation of the season for McLaren. So then as we're coming through to, so that's the end of it. So unfortunately Chaos Lever out making his debut, Gorilla out as well. So Broke Gorilla out, of course Cal Cohen out as well. Also Gunnar out, and Hunter is, I think Hunter's in the wall, isn't he? I think he's damaged his car because he's, I think that Hunter might be out as well, as is Silent Shifting, because Silent Shifting did have a qualifying ban, so yeah, twice. Well, I forgot about it as well. And unfortunately, I think Hunter has also hit the wall as well, and he's also out of qualifying. I think so. We've only got 13 runners left for the next qualifying session, and I think. Anyway, then we're coming through now, starting Q2 then. This is where it gets really interesting. And I've missed a couple of comments, so sorry about that, but it was getting very tasty towards the end of that qualifying session. Of course, Silent Shift in, I need a side pod camera angle. Of course, and of course, interesting drivers looking for Polo here. Anyway, I have a feeling that Hunter, I think Hunter might have been a victim of Codemasters, but I'm not too sure. That's the so if I did say that Hunter went the wall, which I think he Paul. That's what Granty Boy meant, Paul. I was thinking about Polo then. I was like, well, Charles, I don't know much about polo at all, really. All I know is that I do know about water polo, and not like and I like water foot. I don't know. To be honest, I don't go anywhere near water and stuff because I can't swim very well. So, you know, and to be honest, if I'm on the beach, some people might try and roll me back in. So, you know, by Greenpeace or something. Anyway, enough about my waistline. Let's get back on with the qualifying session, shall we? As yeah, we've all had the issues with as Gorilla's left the session there, so that's a bit unfortunate there for Gorilla. I don't think he was too impressed with what happened in qualifying, but which is a bit unfortunate there. And of course, yeah, as Granted Boy was saying, autocorrect. To be honest, yes, autocorrect has got me into a lot of difficulties a lot of the time. But yeah, Polo is actually also a fresh mint as well, so yeah, very good point. As you can tell, I don't really have Polos very much. I think it's also a car, isn't it, as well? Anyway, yeah, we're just watching Renzo now coming down to the final sets and just about to start that. And I think I'm hoping Broke Gorilla will return to the session fairly soon. It's been a very difficult season so far for Broke Gorilla, but this is one of the tracks where he can be very can get some very good points in. So hopefully he can get himself back in fairly soon. Anyway, because Renzo now is about to power his way out of turn 16. And he is now coming up to the line then. Out is also Mr. Elite, and Nigel is out there straight away on the hard compound tyre, medium for Emerson, and medium for Not That Bad then. And of course, why are these guys on the mediums instead of the softs? Because softs are the quickest tyre. Well, basically, as you can see, there's the McLaren in the background of Emerson. Basically, it's because of that you got start if you got in the top 10, which 10 of these drivers will. Obviously, that's what it's called, the top 10. And of course there would be 3 that would be knocked out. Anyway, just coming down the second straight now. Of course, we've got 2 DRS zones here in Azerbaijan, and I must admit, I think you don't really need DRS, do you? Some of the time around here. As just on board then, and we've got 12 more minutes to go. As we're just on board then with Renzo at the moment. As you can see, they're coming through to complete the first sector then. Very nicely controlled there from Renzo. I think, of course, Renzo, made his debut in this second race of the season, and I think he's starting to become a very good driver here. And to be honest, he's a very good driver anyway. But he's hit the wall, I think, and that's why I don't compliment everyone. But I think he's all right. I think he might just he didn't do a Hamilton, so he's still okay. He's still going on. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm not going to compliment anyone else. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. But as I was saying, yeah, Renzo is a very good driver. He's a very good driver anyway. But the more he drives with these guys, gets familiar, the more better he's going to be surely. Anyway, he's powering up then to the line now. He's on the final. He's just come out of turn 16 then, and we've got 11 minutes to go. Renzo's out there straight away. Of course, there's something called track evolution. There's a red ball there on the other side there. I couldn't see if that was Farf or Nigel. Now he's powering up across the line, and it must be Nigel because Nigel because Farf's in the pits, and that's a good time there. What about Emerson, who has done and look at that, Emerson in the 39.6s there, full of McLaren team. Wow, brilliant, and absolutely brilliant stuff. Fantastic stuff indeed. Well, that's he's really showing the way, Emerson, at the moment, isn't he? He seems to know his way around an F1 car. Mr. Elite goes second at the moment. He is 9 tenths of a second away from Emerson at the moment. All on the medium compound tyre. Oh, we got a car on the wall. That's Twang, and that's in the castle section. And has he damaged his front wing? Well, that's not a very good. He has damaged his front wing, so he's going to have to come back in. What about? Oh, Nigel's in the big. Is in the wall quite catastrophically there. Of course, Nigel on the hard compound tyres. He is. Well, to be honest, I suppose he is kind of lucky because he is almost at the end of his lap. That's a big crash indeed. As we said before, Azerbaijan can cause a lot of issues. We've got Twang and Nigel, both very excellent drivers in their own right, of having issues so far. Another yellow flying free at the moment. As XR is on a lap now at the moment. So yeah, wow, what a start to this qualifying session. Q2 is really started off with a bang at the moment. We got to say Ferrari just in front. I think that is not that bad. He's just moved himself up into second at the moment. So whilst our attention was looking at Nigel and also Twang in the wall. Not that bad. Sneaks into second position. Of course, not that bad. Of course, a very experienced driver, and you will rate. And a lot of familiar viewers with Formula 1 2019 will recognise not that bad. So yeah, he's a very good driver, isn't he? Not that bad. Anyway, sector 2 got a yellow flag. Flag and free. I'm wondering if someone's come a cropper in the castle again. And Jonathan, I think, is recovering by the looks there because he was a bit slow. Anyway, coming into turn 15. That's a very awkward corner. I can't get the hang of turn 15. As they're coming down the as they're coming down now as yeah, so yeah, unfortunately, look at this, look at how much you got to thread your car through these twisty walls. It's honestly, I get very intimidated by this, and that's a force in. Yeah, Renzo just cruising back to the pits. So so Renzo at the moment is in 4th position mode. Where does XR go? XR goes into 5th position at the moment. He's on the hard compound tire. Remember, that might be a sighter, or he might try and squeeze. I'm sure it's it. Oh, there's some debris on the exit of turn 1 there. Jonathan's back in the pits. Nigel's back in the pits as well. Farf is on the lap. So is Bowden. We're going to stick with Bowden for the minute because he's on the soft compound tires. So he's trying to rustle some feathers here, isn't he? Really, he's maybe he just he doesn't fancy the soft compound tires. Sorry, the medium compound tires. Anyway, powering his way to the. Yeah, Jonathan did have wing damage, so I think that was what the yellow flag's for. We've seen him cruising out of the castle section, and Bowden now powering out to the line, and he's abandoned his lap. So yeah, so you see, maybe he does fancy the medium tires after all, but just wanted to see how the car performed. Well, Farf is going straight for the hard tires. Remember, he does this quite often, don't he? Farf does. Of going on to the hard tires first and seeing where he plays himself. 5 drivers we're halfway through Q2, and only 5 drivers have set a time so far. So yeah, they're not in a rush to get on it, are they? So at the moment, then, the guys who had set a time then is Murphy, Twango's back out there, Jonathan, Nigel, Granty Boy, Farfy's just coming around to play time now, Bowden and Nosey also out there as well. As we're on board then with Farf as he is now threading his way through the final sector, and yeah, I'm hoping that Broke Gorilla comes back in because I think that this is a good day for Broke Gorilla to get some points on the board. Really, he's having a difficult time at the moment, and Farf goes full fast at the moment on the hard compound tire. Good time indeed from Farf. Really, very showing his pace there. So I'm sure someone just snuck in front of him, didn't it? I don't know. Right, Nosey is just now going on a lap. Let's go on board Nosey then. We're into the coming up to complete the first section now. And what's he doing at the moment then? He is doing a 35.4 in the first sector. Decent time there from Nosey. As you can see then, Broke Gorilla is back in this, so that's great stuff to see. So Broke Gorilla will take up his position on the near the back of the grid. But remember, Broke Gorilla, if you remember this in this last season, threading his way through the castle section. If you remember the race that we had here last season, Broke Gorilla was in the top 10, very comfortably as well, but unfortunately was in the wrong place at the wrong time when yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I don't know what's going on out there. Anyway, yeah, and so yeah, he's very good around this circuit, isn't he? He really enjoys the circuit as well. He's got genuine pace, so I feel that he can get some decent points on the board. He just needs to keep himself out of trouble, really, doesn't he? Broke Gorilla. Nosey then is well, to us, I feel that Nosey last season also showed to keep himself out of trouble, and I think that the admins decided to relegate him to the commentary box. No, I think it was his own choice. But yeah, Nosey now goes into 2nd position at the moment on a 140 on the medium compound tyres. So well done to Nosey. So he's the quickest on the medium compound tyres at the moment. Farf is the quickest on the hard compound at the moment. Twang is out there. So what's Twang doing then in the Mercedes? So and also Murphy is out there at the moment as well. So remember, Hunter's not in this session because unfortunately he got taken up by the AI, which sounds like a familiar issue, doesn't it? Really, because we seem to be getting that quite a lot. Well, in the last game especially. I think this is the first time it's happened this season. Twang then is I think I just in a flash of Ferrari. I think it was a Ferrari. It might have been a Ferrari. I'm not sure, but anyway, Twang goes third fastest. So 3 tenths of a second away from Nosey. Nosey looking very strong here at the moment, isn't he? Good stuff from Nosey. Of course, Twang will be happy with that at the moment. Though, lovely stuff. Bowden is just about to start us out. We got a yellow flag and 3. Brandy Boy is also out there as well. And what about Jonathan at the moment then? Jonathan is in 10th position at the moment. He's just about to start his lap. And Murphy also out there as well. He's no, Jonathan's already started his lap, so we're going to stay on board Jonathan. Of course, as we I think Jonathan of course found out the other day, found out very recently. I'm not sure when when he found out exactly, but he's got Italian heritage in him, so that might be the reason why he's now gone for more of a green kind of helmet, so green and red there, and a bit of white as well, of course, to represent the Italian colours then. So that's great heritage, isn't it? I'm not going to attempt to I'm not even going to attempt to do any like Italian references or anything like that, because I'm poor. Oh, I must admit I do like Italian food though, bit of spaghetti. Ooh, love it. I think ravioli is Italian as well, isn't it? I don't really know. Oh, Jonathan, leaving a bit of Pirelli rubber on the outside barrier there. So yeah, Jonathan there leaving it all on the table. So the challenge, he would get away with that as well. So yeah, just leaving every track there. Of course, Jonathan second in championship at the moment. He's fifth at the moment. So fifth position for Jonathan at present. He's on the medium combat as well. XR is still in the hard combat tire. So XR really and Granty Boy goes up into second, so decent time for Granty Boy on a 39.7. So yeah, Granty Boy is looking very strong at this stage, isn't he? But so is Emerson as well. So we got a good old battle starting to form there. What does Bowden? He sorts himself into 7th position for Bowden. I got yellow flag out there in 3, and that's Murphy, who is in the pits. He is cutting it very close, as is Nigel. No, Nigel hasn't set a time either. So of course Nigel had some issues there. No, unfortunately Gunnar is now hungry because I started talking about food. Yeah. Sorry, Gunnar. But you know, I don't know. Maybe order. Oh, pizza's Italian as well, isn't it? Blimey. Oh, Bowden is going to have to do a 3-point turn now. Right, he's retired from the session. Bowden has. Well, he's got 2 and a quarter minutes to go, and of course and we've just got a comment there from Hunter saying that they are doing a great job of trying to get Bowden out of a sticky situation here. Hopefully that, oh, and I was worried about that, and that is an Alfa Romeo who's out there at the moment. Mr. Lee is on an outlap, yeah, but that's out of turn 2, that is. Nigel on an outlap as well. Murphy won't have enough time, will he, to get out? I think that Murphy might cause himself some issues here. Anyway, now, just coming out, so Nigel's on that at the moment, he hasn't. So at the moment then we've got Renzo, who's out. Murphy, I think it's, oh, blimey, Murphy's coming out with not a long time to go. I don't think he's going to make it around, to be honest. I'll be impressed. Well, he might, unless he finds a shortcut. I'm trying to think of when he will have where there are shortcuts. Look at this. So, Bowden is not going out again, so Jonathan Cox and above, but they think they're safe. So the guys that are not safe, the guys that don't feel are safe, and Bowden, who's on the who's 7th in the road, got Mr. Lee to his 8th, 9th position is 4th, XR 10th, then Renzo 12th, Murphy 13th is Nigel. So who's going to start first? Farf is starting first then in the Red Bull. And of course, Hunter is saying he hates this game so badly. To be honest, I think Hunter has not a very good start to this season, as I rub salt into the wounds, really, don't I, by saying that. But yeah, he's not on a very good start at the Haas driver, is he? Of course, he finished 2nd in the championship last year, only to Nigel. And really, as I said, that's nothing to be ashamed of, really, because Nigel was absolutely phenomenal. Branch Boy is retired from the session, and yeah, I was late for the stream, but now I'm upsetting the founder. Great stuff. You know, I got to end off my week on a high. Anyway, as Farf is now coming through to the castle section right now, and you can see that he's put himself under a bit of pressure there because he did qualify on the hard compound tires. He's gone back to the medium at the moment. Who outside there? We've got Litu's out there at the moment as well. We've also got XR. Did Murphy make it? He did. Incredible stuff from Murphy. So he's made it around. Lovely stuff indeed. So I think Murphy must have found that shortcut after all. I was trying to think of where. Oh, Farf just drifting around there. Because remember, Farf's in the championship at the moment with 28 points. So whatever happens today, he will still lead the championship. But he would like to extend that if he can. But I must admit, I think that a lot of attention. Grant's boy definitely in China definitely showed us how quick he is. And don't forget as well, Emerson making his debut, looking like a very strong competitor. Nosy looks to be up there as well. So yeah, it's not going to be that easy, is it, for Farf today? But Farfair hugs the line there, and he goes full fastest for Farf, so that should see him through. Nigel, and I think that is Exile out there at the moment, who is on and out, who's actually on a quick lap. Murphy is as well. This might get a bit tasty. Anyway, as Mr. Elite then is going a bit wide in turn 15 at the moment. So Exile, oh dear, this is and fast as that there for Renzo there, going right up there. So and Renzo is throwing himself right there. I'm wondering that's going to put a lot of guys under pressure. So Boden's under pressure at the moment. Exile going a bit wide there. Of course, Murphy might be a bit too close here. What about Mr. Elite then? Mr. Elite is powering up now. What's he going to do? Mr. Elite is abandoned his lap, has he? I think he has. As that might be a shame then. Yeah, Mr. Elite has abandoned his lap and he's out of qualifying. Nigel has got himself in the 5th end at the end, and I think Murphy is going to have a lovely slipstream then. So Exile, where does he go? He goes through, and so does Murphy then. Good time indeed. And so unfortunately Jonathan has been knocked out of qualifying. That is the big scalp that's been knocked out. Jonathan is out of qualifying by 200ths of a second. Wow, that's close, isn't it? And Boden is out as well. Unfortunately, he got stuck in the escape road at turn 2. And Mr. Elite is also out as well. Unfortunately, abandoned his lap. But Murphy had a great tow. So going through into Q3 then, we've got Renzo. Good stuff for Renzo. We've got a couple of big scalps then have been knocked out. Wow. So look how close it was from Jonathan to be knocked out, but that's a big blow for Jonathan, isn't it? Of course, he's second in the championship. Renzo with fastest, with Murphy second and Emerson in third. But of course, those Murphy and Renzo will be on the soft tires at the start later on. Emerson. Then we got Grant Boy Nosey. Looks like he's in the mix. So Nigel 6th, 7th Exile, Farf in 8th, Twang in 9th, and 10th position. Not that bad. I don't think Jonathan's too impressed with that, as his comments on the stream was like, damn it. I would use some other words there to be honest, but to be honest, that just shows the track evolution really as well, doesn't it? But I think when Renzo put in a stonker of a lap there towards the end, I think it really did put a lot of pressure on guys, and I would have been feeling a bit vulnerable towards the end. And Mr. Elite, it was very close, because Mr. Elite, I wonder if he made a mistake as well, otherwise I think Mr. Elite would have knocked out, not that bad as well. But we got 2 Ferraris through into Q3. We also have 2 Red Bulls in as well, 2 Toro Rossos. Good stuff. So then 12 minutes. So the 12 minutes has begun, and now we are just down. This is where we're going to be, where it's going to get really hot and really tasty. I was going to say hot and heavy then, but I wasn't sure what I would say that. Anyway, let's go then. So that's me at the moment, hot and heavy, blimey. Anyway, we're about to start the Q3 session, and we've got both Ferraris out there. Everyone is out there straight away. This is the second longest track on the calendar, so you can't really dilly-dally about in the pits lane. You've got to be up and out of there quite quickly as well. And of course, everyone that's joined us today, welcome to ALR. Of course, we're on the 2nd season. And yeah, of course, we're just watching Farf, who is leading the championship at the moment. He is 28 points in front of Jonathan Cox, who's been knocked out of Q2. So, but Jonathan does start 11th, and now has a choice of tyres. All these guys in here are now locked on the tyres that they qualified on in Q2. So there we go. Farf, he damages front wing. I think he's all right. He is all right. Blimey, close shave to the wall there, Farf. It's maybe just making sure that he knows where the track limits are, getting himself up and ready to go. We've got all 10 cars out. That's what we want to see. All 10 cars out, going for that pole position here in Azerbaijan. Looking forward to this one. This one can be very good as well. At the moment, then pole positions. Of course, Granty Boy has been on pole position. That's Murphy as well. Farf hasn't been on pole yet this season, has he? So that's an interesting start. We had Blaz on pole in Australia as well. So we've had 3 different pole position winners, 3 different pole positions in the first 3 races. That's phenomenal, isn't it? And so at the moment, of course, the all-time pole sitter, I think, is NWB, of course, who was driving last season. No, it wasn't. It was Jochen, who of course was the highest pole sitter. Of course, Nigel has got. I think it's Nigel got. Let's just take it. Nigel's got 3 on his stats at the moment. So Nigel would love to make it 4. So but yeah, so Nigel is probably probably, you would say probably the favourite, but he hasn't really shown much pace at the moment, has he, Nigel? But of course, this is his first race back. He might be a bit rusty. And we're on board Farfen as he is coming down into turn 2. We've got a yellow flag in 1 already. I wonder if someone's overshot the first corner, which you can easily do because it's such a long straight. You're on full throttle for almost half a minute. It's crazy, isn't it? Farf now then accelerating out of the first sector, and a good time there from Farf. Now coming into the second sector now then. So let's see what he's coming into the chicane. Of course, Hulkenberg unfortunately clipped broke the steering arm there, didn't he? Unfortunately, going through the castle section right now. Of course, that castle section can be very perilous indeed. Just on board then with Farfen accelerating away, going over the curb slightly. Now he's powering down. This is where the track now declines very steeply. Now then into turn 15. I think this is one of the most difficult corners on the track. I really don't like that corner. And Farf is now then going through to finish the lap now. So he turn 16. That is it now. He wants to be on the accelerator for the rest of the lap. And what is he doing? He is. You can see he's hugging the wall, and far as you can see, then you can see almost going over the pit lane now, and he goes 38.7 there for Farf. Remember, he hasn't got a pole position yet this season, so we've had 3 different pole position at the moment, and we might have a 4th one because Emerson has once again laid down the gauntlet on a 38.2 at the moment. Knowlesy second on a 38.6. Emerson really showing some pace in that McLaren, isn't he? Not that bad, a 38.8 there. Look at this, 38.6, 7 and 8. They're all lying on third. What about Rento? He goes to 39.9 at the moment. Twang there is who's that? Granty Boy goes on a 38.6 as well. Look at that, 500ths of a second, half a tenth. Oh, he's in the wall. He's in the wall. And well, I don't think he was going to go for a second lap anyway, but that might surprise him. Twang is banding this up, and Murphy hasn't gone out either. And Exile goes onto a 39.0 at the moment then. So at the moment we've got tongue-tied already. We've got 8 qualifiers then so far. Emerson, he could be on his debut getting his first pole position then. Fantastic stuff from Emerson, looking like a class of the field at the moment, isn't he? The young man. I'm not sure if I think he's British or myself. Dan Murphy, of course, one of his relatives. I can't remember if it's his cousin. Yeah, chance. I do listen, I swear. I just, I got a brain like a sieve. I don't know. No, sieve collects useful information. I don't even know what I've got. Yeah. Anyway, enough. let's get back on with the racing, shall we? At the moment, Murphy and Twang haven't actually set a time yet. And Granty Boy, you hit the wall at the end there. So we could have 4, as you can see then there's Farfist, Nigel is, so let's just take a quick look to see what's going on at the moment. So Emerson is on pole, second is Nosey, that's the front row, that's a tasty front row, isn't it? Granty Boy in third at the moment, 4th is Nigel, championship leader Farf is only 5th, but qualifying has never been a strong point, it's been always the race, hasn't he? He's a bit like Fernando Alonso really, isn't he? Not qualifying is not his forte, but definitely racing is, isn't it? Not that bad in 6th position. Of course, also making his debut tonight. So we've got a couple of strong drivers in, haven't we, here tonight here in Baku. 7th position is Exile. And 8th position is Renzo at the moment. Good stuff from both Exile and Renzo. They're hoping to get some decent points, but there's a long old race. One of the longest on the calendar, this one is. Murphy and Twang, who are currently... Well, Twang's out there now. So Twang has gone out there early with 5 3/4 minutes to go. And Jonathan's just said he needs to think about this as he's in the pack. Yeah, because of course, because he's starting at them, he's based in the carbon fibre zone, isn't he? So he's going to. That's the danger zone, isn't it? Especially here in Baku. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Turns the first lap of Baku is chaos. So yeah, you've got to be very careful around here. Twang is out all on his own at the moment with 5 minutes to go. I wonder if he's going to do a lap, then cool off and then do a no lap, because it's 5 minutes. Remember, this is a very long old lap, isn't it? So you can see better half of 1 minute 38. Well, on your out lap, you're probably doing a lot longer than that. So yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to do a lap, maybe then cool off and do another lap. The soft tires usually aren't very good for more than one lap, but Twang's going to give it a go, isn't he? See what happens. Of course, as we said, Twang done an absolutely fantastic job, didn't he, in China last year? Of course, Twang didn't race much last year, did he, unfortunately, but he did show some promise, didn't he? I think in this race last year he was showing a lot of promise, wasn't he? Looking very good as well. Unfortunately, he touched the wall and caused damage to his front wing, which really ended his chances of being on the podium. But hopefully he. But I must admit, he's looking a lot stronger. I think as strong as he was last season, this season I think he is looking a much more formidable driver, and really, I'm thinking I'm throwing him in the title hunt as well, because I can throw anyone in the title hunt, really, can't I? Because that's what I kind of do I change my mind every week, really. But yeah, I think the Twang is definitely got the real deal, hasn't he? As you can see, acceleration around now, and so here we go then, just coming into the Old Town section. Then here at the moment, he is still the only man out. We've still got just under 4 minutes to go, so so you can see time is ticking away now. Going into turn 15, and Twang will have time for another run, so he'll have time for a cool down lap and another go. And so this has been a perfect lap. He hasn't actually had any issues at all with the look how close he was to the wall. He hasn't had any issues with the he's running out of fuel though, so I'm wondering if he's only going to have one lap and that's it. I might hurt him for track evolution. DRS is enabled now. You see DRS is not enabled all the way down that straight. And what does he do? That's a good time indeed. And he's up in the second position, and Twang is great time from Twang. 2/10 away from Emerson. So that's a very good time. He's on the front row of the grid at the moment. We did say last season of how good Twang was. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back around then. As Hilton has said, commentary is class. Excellent stuff. I'm glad someone can actually understand me, my old Forester accent. So yeah, I am broadcasting from in the middle of the trees, in my tree house. No, I'm not. I'm now a city boy. But my roots are still the forest, and that was a pun as well. As Twang then is still. I think the Twang ain't gonna have enough fuel to there to get back around. And of course, Hinton, thanks for the compliment, mate. Twang's really makes my day actually. The time, yeah. Really makes my day. So yeah, I'm glad that you're listening. I'm glad that everyone else is listening as well. Yeah, it was all your drivers there. We're glad to have you in ALR, and hopefully you can stay long term as well. Oh, and Twang there, I think is proper damaged his car there, and well, he never crashes in. He never has small accidents, does he, Twang? Oh dear, and that's a big old crash, isn't it? And is that going to? Everyone else is on their outlaws. We're on board with Emerson at the moment. Emerson then is coming up to the crash scene now, and Twang is on the inside there. They just need to get rid of that car. Everyone's on the lap at the moment. Got flagging free, I think, and who's out? We've got Knowles out there as well. We've got a minute and 30 to go. Grant Boy out there as well. We've got Nigel out there. Of course, he is out of this grid here today. He has got the most pole positions of 3. Of course, the record is Jochen with 5. Yeah, Farf has actually got no pole positions at the moment in this season, which I think is quite surprising. Not that bad there, of course, making his debut as well, but you can't forget about him. Exile in 8th. Renzo is improving on, and Dan Murphy, of course, a very strong candidate as well. So that's it. This is it. It's all in now. Two DRS zones on this track, and now powering down into turn 3. Then let's go on board with Emerson, shall we? Let's see where he's actually making up time. To be honest, I don't think you can actually look at how much speed he takes into turn 3. That's phenomenal stuff from Emerson. Amazing stuff. You can see then. Look at the shadows though on the track, and you can see. I wonder if that's a distraction. Now into the end of the first sector, he's 600 a second down at the moment, and then you can see now coming up into the castle section. Now look at the flame buildings there just in the distance. Lovely place to have a race, isn't it? It's a very unusual place to have a race as well. Oh, took in a bit too much curb there. Now into the castle section, very narrow this is as well. Perfect. Oh, he almost had perfection there, but he's damaged his front wing. I think, unfortunately, we can't see that side, but let's go back off board and see if we. Torrance, I reckon, has he got away with it? Is he a lucky boy? I think he's got away with it. He has got away with it. That's a very, very lucky boy indeed. Emerson now down into turn 15 then. Beautiful stuff indeed. Powering away. You can see the fuel lights flashing. These are the lightest cars they're going to be. How is that? He's 2/10 of a second down. I think it's a mistake in the castle section that really cost him. And he has now called it a day, but he's still pole position at the moment. So he's he is still in it at the moment. While as Nigel is on the first sector, as his father's on. Not that bad. It's coming to the castle section. XR is I think who's coming on. Just looking to see who's coming the first round across the line. I think it might be Murphy. Murphy is down in 10th at the moment in car 14. Of course, that's a very familiar number on a red car, isn't it? But here comes Murphy now, then powering up. Oh, he's got a new helmet, Murphy. I just love it. So yeah, that's a nice helmet indeed. Of course, a bit of red and chrome. And now then, as he's coming up to the finish line now, where is Murphy going to come at the moment? So he can improve because he hasn't set a time yet. But where is he going to improve to? That's looking good time as well for Murphy. He goes only 8th. I wonder if he might be disappointed with that. But what about Renzo? Renzo stays 10th for the moment, but he is in the top 10. XR is about to finish this up now. He has got his top 10 start. Granted Boy is 4th. So Granted Boy is only 4th today. What about just on board Farf at the moment? Not that bad his finish, so not that bad. It's only 7th, so Ferrari's a 7th and 8th then. Just on board. Nosey's gone fastest. Nosey is on pole position. That's his first ever pole. And so what about Farf? Farf goes 4th fastest. So Farf is 4th at the moment then. Nigel goes into 3rd. So Nigel is now gone into 3rd fastest. Nosey has done an absolutely fantastic lap. What a way to finish off the qualifying session there. Brilliant stuff. That's Nosey's first ever pole position, I believe, in ALR. Well done to Nosey. He got that one out of the bag, didn't he? Fantastic stuff from Nosey. So yeah, he's I think that that's a brilliant time. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic stuff from Nosey. And there he is. There he is. So let's just take a look at how they're going to line up on the grid then. Nosey takes his first ever pole position in ALR. That is our That is our 4th pole position sitter of the season. We haven't had the same man on pole position yet. That is fantastic stat. By 10th for a second. Then of course Emerson was down the first sector, wasn't he? And then I think he lost a lot of time, but very good. But he's still on the front row of the grid. And so Nosey on pole position, his first ever pole position. Alongside him is Emerson. 10th for a second back. Nigel is in 3rd. 4th position is Twang. Then we got Farf in 5th. 6th position is Granty. 7th position not that bad. Alongside not that bad is Murphy in 8th. 9th position is XR. And 10th is Renzo. Look at that. The top 10 is covered by a second. Amazing stuff. I'm going to say that Emerson's done a fantastic job today. I think he's very, very inexperienced when it comes to league racing, and to put himself second on the grid is fantastic. He's like a Kimi Räikkönen, isn't he? Basically, Kimi Räikkönen had 24 open wheel races before getting into Formula One. So we might have a special talent on our hands here with Emerson, and of course he does carry the great Formula One legends name, of course, Emerson Fittipaldi, of course, the two-time world champion in 72 and 74, I think it was. So hopefully I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it's 72 and 4. And of course with McLaren as well. So excellent. So I like a bit of history and stuff. I was never very good at it, but yeah. Here we go then, and you can see the sun is setting here in Azerbaijan, as we're here in the city of Baku, as we're about to get this race underway. This is probably going to be one of the most chaotic races of the season, and we've got 19 drivers out there as well. So here we go then, 26 laps around here as well. How is these guys going to survive? Well, they will survive because probably because they might listen to Gloria, but also might be also because they're very good drivers as well. Let's just quickly go through then the grid then for ALR. So on pole position is Nosey on the medium compound tyres. Alongside him is Emerson. 3rd position Nigel, making a return for the championship. Fourth position is at Twang on medium tires. Farf is fifth, the championship leader. Sixth position is Grante. Seventh position, not that bad on his debut. Not that bad, is it? Eighth position is at Murphy. I'm not be disappointed with that. And of course, Murphy on soft tires as well, so he might get a good launch. Ninth position is Exile on medium tires. 10th position is Renzo on the soft compound tires. Jonathan Cox is on the hard compound tire in 11th position. Remember, he was allowed to choose the strategy. Jonathan is second in the championship at the moment. He's got a lot of work to do. Bowden is in 12th in the Mercedes. Bowden's been ever present in the points. Mr. Elite is 13th. Unfortunately, couldn't get his lap together, could he? Silent Shifting is on the well, it's just decided not to take the formation lap, and nor is Hunter either. So Silent Shifting on the medium tires. Hunter is on the hard compound tires. And Gunnar also not caring about the formation lap too much, and he is 16th position. We got Broke Gorilla then in 18th position. Of course, he returned. Of course, he's very quick around this track. Of course, car 2 and Chaos Lever making his debut as well. Oh, going to the back of Broke Gorilla there. So yeah, just giving a little shove to get himself going. And now Knowles is just slowing the pack down. Of course, Knowles is a very experienced driver, so he doesn't know he doesn't want to get in front too much. And we've got a couple of comments coming in, so let's just have a quick read then. New F1 then said, how can I join? Well, just ask the boss. So yeah, if you want to just drop me a message, and then I'll throw you onto Hunter. Hunter is of course the league owner. So of course it'd be great to have you along. Absolutely stunning stuff. Of course, we've also come on T-Boon. I think that's aka Jonathan Cox. So is that Jonathan's new nickname now? T-Boon. Lush. I think it says it's T-Boon. All right, that's enough for me trying to act cool. Anyway, let's go for it. We're gonna have 5 sets of lights going. There's no green anymore because they scrapped the green light back in '96, didn't they? They scrapped the because due to the drivers reacting to didn't need the green lights, but these guys don't need them either because it's go. It is go, and a terrible stop by Not That Bad. He's dropped down a couple positions already, and Twang is already up into there with the second position. Oh, that's a Red Bull going wide, and Nigel's hit the wall. Nigel's hit the wall. Oh, that's a big old smashing. Oh my gosh, that's an awful crash. Awful crash. Is there any retirements? I don't think there's any retirements, believe it or not. Nigel is unfortunately clipped the wall, and he's caused himself almighty issues. Oh no! Now T-Bone is gone into. I've read the comment now, but Bowden has damaged his car. Nigel's damaged his car as well, and as his Exile as well. We've only got 18 drivers. Someone is and Silent Shifting is out of the race. Silent Shifting's out. He's gone into I think it's into turn 3. So Silent Shifting is the first retirement in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He is there. I think he got run out wide there. Oh dear, it's an appalling start, isn't it? Silent Shifting has left the session and he is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And we have only got 18 drivers. I was trying to work out who's gone. And Nosey leads at the moment then. Second position is Emerson. Third position is Twang at the moment. We got a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car at the moment. Up 10 position is Chaos. Brilliant. It's driving there from Chaos. Up 8 position is Gorilla. As we said, Gorilla's very good around this track. Unfortunately, down 13 position is Nigel. He clipped the out. He went wide, clipped the outside wall, and then unfortunately it was just a concertina effect. And we might have a couple of drivers that are going to need some pit assistance. And it's green, it's go. So Knowles needs Emerson is second. We got yellow flag in 2. We got yellow flag in 2 because Jonathan is out as well. Jonathan is out. He's in the middle of the track, and out goes Bowden. Big crash indeed. Oh my gosh, Nigel is out on his return. Bowden is out as well, and Jonathan is out. That is 4 drivers out already in this incredible start. That has to be a safety car, but it's not a safety car. Blimey, what a start. And Nigel, that is such a shame for Nigel, such a shame for Bowden, such a shame for Jonathan and Silent Shifting. Nope, that's 4 big names gone already. Nosey is now under a bit of pressure at the moment. Chaos, and unfortunately Nigel's left the session. That was a bit unlucky there from Nigel. Now Farf is all over the back, and also we got Dan Murphy also under a lot of pressure as well. And Farf is now gaining on Twang. Twang is very good around this circuit, isn't he? And as you can see, so it's very difficult. Well, it's not very difficult to take on the circuit at all. Look, as you can see, a bit of the twilight here at the moment, and Bowden's left the session as well. It's such a shame, isn't it? Such a shame. So a bit of a messy old first lap there from the guys. Not that bad then. It's just trying to get around Mr. Elite, who's up 6 positions. Bro Gorilla is up into the 9th position, and Chaos is up into 10th. Good stuff. Into the pits. Renzo just coming to the pits. Hunter is out of the pits as well. Gunnar is just coming out of the pits. All going a bit wide there. Exile out of the pits as well. So, wow, what a start. Oh, and I think did notice he damaged his front wing. I think he might have damaged his front wing. Got Yo flagging 2. Yo flagging 2. What's going on? Oh, it's Murphy. Murphy has had a bit of contact, I think, in the second. Oh, and Exile as well. This is getting a bit feisty here, isn't it? As now as Murphy, I think, has damaged his front wing. I think. Oh, he has. Oh, he's hit the Ferrari. He is out. Also, Exile's out as well. And not that bad. Oh my gosh, we have lost another 3 cars in this race. There ain't gonna be anyone left. So both Ferraris are out. Unfortunately, I think Dan Murphy there just lost control of his car. Come back on, and not that bad out. Murphy out, Exile out as well. Blimey! And these guys have got to be careful coming around this corner. As Twang is now dropping down to 4th position. Chaos Lever has got to be careful because there's a Ferrari. Oh, blimey. As Renzo as well as Broke Gorilla is up into 6th position. Fantastic stuff. Hunter is in 9th position at the moment. Gunnar is just making sure he gets through as well. And Exile through as well. We're down to 11 cars. Hilton takes the lead. Emerson is taking the lead. Nosey has dropped down 2nd. Farf is now up into 4th position as well. So Emerson is taking the lead of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Remember, this is his debut at the moment. So yeah, Emerson doing a great job. That's what we said. Oh, Farf is in the wall. Farf is in the wall. And he's damaged his front wing. And oh, he's hit Twang. Twang is almost, no, not quite. Blimey. This is, oh, it's a bit of a scrappy old race here. And now Twang is up the inside, and, oh, he's through. Now, where's Granty? Granty is also behind as well. Farf is damaged his front wing. That is costing him, going to cost him. Remember, in the championship, though, he is still going to be leading whatever happens here today. And a lot of his championship rival, Jonathan's out of the race, unfortunately. As and of course, well, Grant Boy would be his main championship rival now. That is things stand, they say as they are, and we've only got 11 cars left out of the 19 he started. And I'm trying to work out. We had 19, but then we dropped down to 18. Farf is in the wall again. He needs to get back to the pits ASAP because that is going to cost him some. Oh, that's the wing completely gone, and you can see it's just flying and bounce up in the background. And his Granted Boy needs to get by as quickly as possible here. Oh, he's got to treat that car like the back legs of a donkey, really, hasn't he? Because yeah, that car Farf is struggling, but you can see Twang just dropping off in the foreground, and Granty is through and up into 4th position. And wow, what a start to this race. Murphy has left the session, so Murphy is unfortunately out of the race there, and I think he would just find out Farf is in the pits. So Farf is in the pits. Remember, what tarts is going to go on? It's going to be, if he gets on the hard tarts, will he be able to go to the end? Broke is on the hard tarts at the moment and doing a good job in 6th position. He'll be up in the 5th. Remember, Broke Gorilla hasn't finished racing for a very long time now. Jonathan Cox has also left the session as well. So Broke is now in 5th position. Farf is out on the medium compound tarts again, so he'll be on a 2-stopper now. And I wonder what time it's going to go on at the moment then. So, wow. And where's Renzo? Renzo's going alongside Chaos Lever at the moment, and also Hunter is behind him as well. So we've got wheel-to-wheel stuff. Renzo flies by at the moment. And what about Hunter? Where's Hunter? Hunter is here. Chaos there. Oh, very close there. Very close indeed then, of course. We've only got 11 cars left. We'll go through the list of retirements in a minute. Chaos Lever then doing a very good job in his debut race, really. It's absolutely in there. I think, oh, we got your flag. Farf is out. Farf is out of the race as well. This is an incredible retirement rate here. And Hunter there, where is it? There he is. He's turn 3. And he is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've only got 10 cars left. Oh, and Chaos. Oh, Chaos are almost and Farf has left the session as well. But this is an awful day for our champions, for our championships leaders. Oh dear, it's been a very painful day, hasn't it? Incredible stuff. And there's Gunnar in the background as well. So all these guys have got a virtual safety car out there now. And oh my gosh, absolutely incredible what's going on here. Emerson is leading at the moment. Nosey is 2nd. Twang is in 3rd. Granty Boy 4th. Gorilla up into 5th, so Gorilla can get some points. Excellent stuff. 6th for Renzo. Chaos doing a great job in 7th position. Lovely stuff indeed from Chaos. As you can see, Chaos there, of course, very new to the Formula 1 scene as well. So yeah, so he's just got to make sure he doesn't go over that limit. And we've got Gunnar in 9th position and Exile in 10th. Oh my gosh, incredible. We're only on lap 5. We have lost DRS is now enabled, and Kale's getting a very good start there, very good start indeed on the virtual safety car. Remember, virtual safety car, not full safety car. And so it's been a must admit, it's been a oh, he's gone wide there, and Kale somehow keeping it out of the wall. How did he do that? Nosey there is keeping the pressure on Emerson at the moment. But you can see now with the Haas driver now powering out the inside, and Chaos then is down to 8th position at the moment. Hunter is up into 7th position at the moment then. So now Hunter is going to get after Renzo. Has he got the pace? Oh, he should have the pace there. Now Gunnar is the on the soft compound, so going for an early fast lap. Let's take stock here. What's going on? Emerson is now leading, of course, making his debut today as well. Of course, filling in for Dave, unfortunately, because of course Dave wasn't able to race today, but he will be back hopefully next week as well for the Spanish Grand Prix, our first European race of the season next week. Oh, Nosey there is 2nd at the moment. 3rd position is Twang. 4th position is Granty Boy. Of course, he is 17 seconds back after all the chaos that happened there. So he's also coming to pits. So Granty has. So he's going for the undercut straight away. He might need to have a second stop there. Gorilla is in 5th position at the moment. Renzo is 6th. 7th position is Hunter. We're on board with Hunter now, who is now gaining on Renzo. Of course, he's almost a pit stop. What's going on? I see yellow flag somehow. I wonder what happened. I suggested a yellow flag very quickly. So Renzo is in at 6th position, Hunter in 7th, Chaos is in 8th position at the moment, Gunnar in 9th, and XR in 10th position at the moment. Retirement's far out. He unfortunately made a mistake, and then he crashed into unfortunately crashed in turn 3. Not that bad. Murphy and Mr. Elite all tangled, didn't they, coming just out of the castle section and flying down towards turn 13 and 14. Massive accident, and unfortunately that accident, and Chaos is out. Chaos is out. Oh, that's a big blow. So Chaos is out of the race. He hit the wall, and you can see there he is on the inside. So we've only got 9 runners left, and Chaos will get a point. But unfortunately, that is it for Chaos. So he's on his first ALR race. He's only done 6 laps, but he will get a point, which is good for the Williams team. And Gunnar's in the pits now. So wow, we've only got 9 runners left, then. So basically, that's half the field gone after just 6 laps. Absolute chaos in the first opening couple of laps. Then incredible stuff. Oh blimey! So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this race unfolds now. As I'm astounded with what's gone on here. Oh, blimey! And so then, as you can see, 100 now all over the back of Renzo at the moment. Gorilla is having a bit of issues at the moment. As you can see, he's dropping. Renzo's catching him at the moment in 5th position. So yeah. So Chaos will get points as we're going through then. Yeah, and unfortunately Nigel Bowden and Nigel Bowden also getting involved in that big accident as well, didn't they? Of course, Jonathan out of the race as well, and Silent Shifting was out quite early on. So yeah, big a lot of disappointing races really out already. Low shot of the Old Town here in Baku, and now coming into turn 16 then. Accelerating away, as you can see then Renzo there is Hunter's next target. Hunter, because I think Hunter had a couple of issues as well. Of course, Nigel I think had started off the accident when he went wide. I'm not sure if he was forced wide or not, but then yeah, he clipped the inside barrier, spun, and it's a concertina effect, wasn't it? So yeah, it's I must admit, a big old pile-up, wasn't it, in Jones? Did you expect anything less here in Azerbaijan? We've had 2 or 3 big pile-ups here today. And now Renzo is going to have to start to defend now, isn't he? As he is, they're both on the same compound tire, the same life tire as well. So this is all equal. As now then Hunter is starting to gain. As he is now coming down to turn 3. Turn 3 is also claimed a couple of drivers as well. As just taking a look at the telemetry out there, just seeing what's going on. As now then Hunter is back on board with Hunter at the moment, and he is all over the back of Renzo, like a bad suit. As you can see the beautifully liveried Haas. Nosey has dropped back to 3.5 seconds at the moment, 3.6 from Emerson. So Emerson is feeling confident in his debut race, as we said before. He hasn't done many races, many league races at all. So we have compared him to Kimi Räikkönen, hasn't he? Because Kimi Räikkönen only did 24 car. Oh, and Hunter getting a lot of oversteer there, going to the power a bit too early there. Hunter did possibly, and really causing a bit of action there. I'm wondering if Brock Grillis damages front wing, because Renzo is now starting to get on. But remember, they're on a different tire compound, and I think that Brock Grillis is going to go very long into this race. Because I think he's aiming to get to probably lap 16, maybe lap 15, 16 before going on to the medium tires. These guys are going to have to do, are going to have to pit again, I believe. I think so, anyway. So this is the closest battle on track moments. They're all starting to get spread out. Granty Boy is now making a recovery drive at the moment, because he pitted to go into the hard compound tire as well, didn't he? So Granty Boy, I think, will have to pit again from there. So he's still got a lot of pit stops action still to go. And you can see that Racing Point's quite slippery in a straight line, isn't it? Pulling away from Hunter a bit there. As a back on board, you can see the shadows of the buildings. Really doesn't probably have the tar warm up around here, does it? And of course, this is the I think this is the only Grand Prix below sea level on the calendar at the moment. So that's an interesting fact for you all to divulge. I'm full of useless facts, so yeah. And you can see then Renzo. When it comes to the twisty stuff, Hunter does really gain, but that Racing Point does have good top end speed, doesn't it? Really, really it stretches his legs. Doesn't it? Doesn't Renzo on the two straights, of course, the back straight between 2 and 3, and also the start finish straight as well. Now to the castle section, both doing very well, of course. You got to get through there 26 times. I don't think Murphy got through there, and I think that also was at the beginning and the end, wasn't it, before that massive incident. So you can see, look at that. We had a lot of incidents, didn't we, over the course of the first few laps there. But it's calmed down a bit now. Of course, the DRS detection zone is around this part here, and I think Hunter is out of that DRS detection zone at the moment. And now Renzo, normally on this part of the track, on this part of the lap, usually starts to pull away slightly. And you can see, look how perilous, and I really don't like this part of the track. It's, especially on those tires, it really can cause you some difficulty. As so then, just at the moment, Anderson is still pulling away from Knowles at the moment. Twang is on his own, but I think he's going to have Granty for company towards the later stage of the race. Same with Broke Gorilla. He's going to have Renzo and Hunter for company very soon as well. But good race for Broke at the moment. Exile doing a good job as well, and Gunnar as well. Of course, Gunnar is trying to take us off the back at the moment, and he's on the soft compound tire. He will have to come back in as well. 9 cars are left, believe it or not. We had 19 in qualifying. We're now down to just 9. It's been absolutely chaos to begin with. We had a massive shunt in turn 1, but believe it or not, no one retired from the turn 1 shunt. It all just suddenly fell apart, didn't it, on the when he was recovering. And of course, I'm down the fast part of the section. The Hunter's really started to turn up the wick up now, hasn't he? As Renzo is now under a lot of pressure at the moment. Of course, these guys are still reeling in. Brook Grillo is in 5th position at the moment, so there's still some good points on the table for all these guys then, so you have to keep going. As Emerson, as we keep saying, he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. Of course, Knowles did start on pole position, didn't he? So, so favourite at the moment. Emerson is slightly quicker than Knowlesy. Twang is the first man to come into the pits. He always got a 5-second solo penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Twang has. That might cost him. What tires are going to go on? Oh, he damaged his front wing, so he's coming in slightly earlier for the hard compound tire. Also in the pits is Granty Boy. He damaged his front wing. I think the Granty Boy's also got some damage as well. So we've got a couple of drivers coming in that damaged front wings. And this is how painful this track can be. So Granty Boy is coming in. Yes, they've got a complete new nose ready for Granty Boy as well. So Twang recovering. Broke is up into 4th position now. So where is Granty Boy going to come out? Remember, he needs to. This is a good day to get some points there, isn't he? As you can see, Hunter was unable to get through Renzo at the moment. So Granty Boy is back out on track. He's on the hard compound tire, and could they go to the end on this? You can see, look at the debris on the outside of turn 1 there. Absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely chaos out there, isn't it? As the opening turn 1. So, yeah, Twang and Granty, they're going to be able to go to the end now. It's going to be a stretch. They got to do 16 laps on this hard compound tires. As you can see, wow, in DRS range now is Hunter, as they're battling for 5th position and 10 points among. Broke Grill is only 6 seconds up the road. Yeah, absolutely fine job from Renzo and Broke Grilla. course, this is going to be Renzo's high. Well, he hasn't scored a point yet. Renzo hasn't. So, but he will today, won't he? Whatever happens, as long as he doesn't, his car doesn't go into ghost mode, then he should be all right. So as long as he don't lose connection, Renzo should be good to get some points. Chaos Lever will also be getting a point as well. So good stuff from Chaos. Oh, and a Hunter almost turning too early there. Just shows how difficult and constant. Lovely shot of the wing there. And look, there's a yellow Renault in the background there of Granty Boy, just coming into shot now. So yeah, Granty Boy will. At this current time, he will jump Jonathan Cox in the championship as well. So for second position, Jonathan Cox will be very disappointed about the race today. He's going to be second in the championship as well, which is a big blow. Silent Shifting won last time out in China. Unfortunately, hasn't wasn't able to repeat that. And currently at the moment, then, so far has got 2 wins at the moment, with Silent Shifting got 1. But it looks like none of those drivers are going to win today. So we're going to have a third race winner in 4 races. Fantastic. In the moment, it's Emerson who's looking good, but no, don't count Nolte out yet either. And it's a long race still to go, mind. We haven't even hit half distance yet. So a lot more action still to come. And the Hunter again has dropped off the back of Renzo. Renzo is really showing some top end speed. And you see that you're going to see in a minute, there's going to be another gold. There's going to be another black and gold car just up the road. There he is. There's Broke Gorilla, who is now being homed in now on by these guys. So Renzo is a meat in the half sandwich at the moment. So he is down here. So Renzo has really been reeling in Broke Gorilla in the last couple of laps. And now then he's on board Granty then as he currently at the moment then is now starting to become all over the back of Hunter. Granty should be going to the end of this race on the hard compound tire. Just keep an eye on Twango's time is 12, because the Twang might cause obviously some issues if he's able to go quicker, and might even do an undercut here. And into the pits comes Emerson. So Emerson's in the pits then, and he is coming on to the hard compound tire. Oh, bit of lag there. So as Nosey is staying out then, so Nosey is going to be on a different strategy now then. So yeah, so Nosey might be rolling the dice here and thinking of doing something slightly different in order to beat Emerson. So look at this, and we're going to have a 4-car battle here. So as you can see, there's Broke then, who's a second in front of Renzo, who's a second in front of Hunter. There is Broke then, who I think he's been struggling for pace as of late, hasn't he? So yeah, he has been being homed in at the moment. And you see, look at this, there's Granty Boy gaining. Hunter has got no answer because Granty Boy is just on fresh tyres. And you see Hunter is just trying to see if he can get the slipstream there and trying to get himself back into the frame, but unfortunately he cannot. And now Granty Boy is up into 6th position. His next target is a Renzo, who is in 5th position at the moment then. And then Broke Gorilla is in 4th. Oh, look at how close they go to the wall there. As you can see then, coming down the second DRS straight now, Renzo just out of the DRS zone of Broke Gorilla at the moment. In 4th position, Twang is only 8 seconds away from Emerson. Remember, Nosey was only 7 seconds up the road from Emerson as well. So on what Nosey might be in a bit of trouble here from a Twang at the moment, and Twang might get himself up into second and in front of Nosey. So it's going to be a bit close there, isn't it? I might be completely wrong as well though, because my maths is awful. Look at this, we got a 4-car battle leading, Broke Gorilla leading, then we got Renzo, then we got Granty Boy and Hunter. And this is where it's going to start to get really tense. Oh, Broke Gorilla almost going into the wall there, and Renzo almost going. Oh, and I think Hunter has gone to the wall. We're on board with Hunter. That's an end plate gone, isn't it? It is. Hunter has damaged his end plate on the hearth, and of course then. That's unfortunate. Look at this. There's Renzo's all over the back of Gorilla, then coming down into turn 15. Gorilla there. Do a good job there from Gorilla then. Just in the background is that you see Hunter's going to have to come into the pits, isn't he? Renzo's having a look down to turn 15 now. He waits. He should now we're going to have a free car. As you can see, we're on half this now. Hunter, I think, should be coming in the pits. He has damaged his end plate and he's dropped the wrong way back. Look at these guys. This is going to be very close. Hunter, look at this. And what's happening? And there he is. Look at this. Oh my gosh, a big accident. Oh, and Broke Gorilla almost went to the wall there. Almost. And oh no, and Granty Boy is Renzo there. I think that was a bit. And that's John is there. I think and Renzo's gone off the track. Oh, and he's back on now. So yeah, and Renzo's damaged his car there. Broke Gorilla on Granty Boy. Okay, is his car okay? And Nosey has dropped his. Look how close Nosey was. So the undercut. Oh, sorry, the overcut nearly worked there. So Nosey, I got it completely wrong. He was nowhere near Twang. And he was on a, so he's on fresher tires as well. Is Granty Boy all right then? But with the car, I don't think Renzo is. I think Renzo's got damage. Hunter has come back out on the medium compound tire. That's going to be a big ass to get to the end on the medium compound tire. But yeah, it was yeah, we was on board with a Gorilla in the middle there, wasn't he? And the Granty Boy's car looks okay. Broke Gorilla is I think Broke Gorilla has actually got damage, hasn't he? Yeah, he has on the end plate there. And we're on board with Renzo here, has also got damage as well. I feel that, yeah, I think that's really the Gorilla couldn't really do anything about that because he was getting squeezed, wasn't he, by both Renzo and Granty there. Maybe, and then unfortunately it was just a bit messy. And then Renzo had a bit of a lunge going on turn one on Granty and of course themselves control as well. But Granty Boy is on the move. He's 19 seconds behind Twang, and he's got free air now to see. Let's see how quick Granty Boy can go in the remainder of this Grand Prix. And you can see then how slow these guys going in terms of. So that's going to hurt Broke Gorilla's strategy, isn't it? Because he's now got to do an awful lot of laps on the soft compound tires. He's in the pits. So Broke Gorilla is in the pits, as is Renzo as well. So we've got pit stop race then between the Haas and between the almost said Force India there, between the racing point. So into the pits then, and also got XR in the pits as well. So XR, whilst all the chaos was going on, XR has just slowly crept up behind. And and the Haas team also changing the front wing. There's XR coming in the pits as well. Where's Hunter? Hunter is coming out of the pits, is coming down the back straight now. He is on the outside. Hunter is through and up in the 5th position then. So Hunter is coming the pits up in the 5th. Broke Gorilla is now up in the 6th position. XR is moving in front of Renzo. So XR there is now starting to claw his way back up through the field. He's on the hard compound tire, on the better tire than what Renzo and Broke Gorilla's on. Flagging one, and Renzo's I think going straight on again there. So Renzo unfortunately having issues in turn 2 once again. And he's just recovering now. So Broke Gorilla, so both Haas's are 5th and 6th at the moment. Good points at the moment from the Haas's. And of course, both Toros is a 7th and 8th for them. We're on board with XL now. He's second behind Broke Gorilla. Gorilla has got the quicker tire at the moment. But remember, it's a big ass to get those medium tires towards the end of the race. It's Emerson set the fast up racing, so Emerson on course for the full 26 points at the moment then. As you see XL all over the back of Broke Gorilla at the moment. Broke Gorilla being a bit tentative at this stage of the race. So then let's just take stock then on that 15. Emerson leads by 1.7 seconds away from Nosey. Nosey almost took the lead with the overcut. Twang is now in 3rd position and is 11 seconds back. Granty Boy is 4th and on his own now, so he is now trying to hunt down a Twang for 3rd in that final podium position. Hunter is in 5th position, and he's on his own as well. Broke Gorilla and XR are having a good old battle for 6th and 7th at the moment. And Renzo is in 8th position, and he's just coming to the pits. And Gunnar is in 9th position at the moment, and McLaren getting some fine points today. And you can see now XR then is gaining. Lovely shot here. We've got a 4. That's the racing point. Broke Gorilla there, not giving him any space there, Broke Gorilla. And I think a bit of damage there on the. I think, and Hunter's got a 3-second penalty for Mobile 1. Is there damage on XR's car? I think he might have got away with that. Oh, but Broke Gorilla there, not giving him much space there. Not giving XR much space there. Anyway, then, so it's now we're coming up to the second DRS zone there. He is now coming down the back straight at the moment. Broke Gorilla is, I think I'm a bit too far back, so I don't think he's going to be able to do anything from there. Oh, he's going to have a lunge into turn 4. Gorilla taking a lot of curve there. And I'm just seeing the sector times between Renzo and these two, and Renzo is now starting to gain as well. So XL doesn't want to be involved in the sandwich here, and Emerson there is now stretching his lead. It's now to 3 seconds. There's debris on the track in the background. I think that's Broke Gorilla off Broke Gorilla's car. So Broke Gorilla is going to really struggle now in the final stage of this race. So he's going to be very cautious as well, Broke Gorilla. But he's doing a good job at the moment. He just got to get to the end. The XR then is all over the back of him now, and I think of course XR then was almost through on the last lap. Of course they got very, very close indeed. Lovely camera shot there. It's down to 2.3 seconds. Renzo is really flying in the racing point, isn't he? at the moment then. So Renzo flying the flag to race point with his teammate Jonathan Cox out of the race. Now exiting turn 16. This is probably the best opportunity then for XR. And look at this, he's gaining. Look at how much understeer that Broke Gorilla's got because of that damage from wing, and he is going on the outside this time. Broke Gorilla then is staying on the inside then. So, and you can see, and he's through. I think he is through. He is through then. So he's through and up into 6th position. Oh, Broke Gorilla there. Oh, Broke Gorilla there and XR there. Oh dear, and Broke Gorilla braked very late there, and XR was trying to go on the outside. He's not damaged his front wing, luckily, so he's all right. But a bit of robust defending there from Broke Gorilla. As now then it's back on, so it's Renzo's turn then. So Broke Gorilla is becoming a bit of a roadblock for the guys at the moment, and is defending hard, isn't he? Of course, we've got 10 laps to go with this race then, as Emerson is now starting to extend his lead to 2.5 seconds. And the battle at the front has it has been absent on the stream now, and you can see I think that was the Mercedes of Twang there just powering up the start finish day. Of course, Twang doing a very good job this year. His consistency might be the thing that might pay off. And of course, consistency is the thing you need in this league. Oh, lovely camera shot here. So XR is now 4 seconds back at the moment, but is he going to gain? The question is, XR damage his car? Well, we'll find out in a second. As Renzo braking a lot later than Broke Gorilla, going down to turn 15. Of course, that infamous corner where oh, and Renzo there diving on the inside there of turn 16. I'm not sure if, I think that was a bit I think he should have waited till the start finish straight there for Renzo, because I think that he does have the straight line speed in this racing point, and he has dropped back now. So yeah, Broke Gorilla in a couple of incidents at this moment in time, and you can see then Renzo look at that, this racing point is very slippery as well. Of course, Hunter struggled to overtake Renzo earlier on because look at how much speed he's got. Oh, this is going to be a lunge and a half, and Renzo they're going very wide there. Oh, XR almost clipping the barrier there. Oof, as well, yeah, I think Renzo's got a lot of speed in that racing point, but I think he braked way too late there, and that was unfortunate there. Wow, these guys are really giving us some great entertainment, didn't they, for the battle for 5th. Sorry, for 6th, 7th, and 8th position. Of course, Hunter is now checked out. He is 8 seconds in front of his teammate Gorilla. So, and XR going very deep there into turn 4, I think it was. Now into 5 and 6. You can see then, I love that shot, isn't it? Unfortunately, we haven't got many cars on the track, so we can't really see like, you know, going one car's going one way and the other car's going in a different direction. Renzo's got a lot of speed in this racing point, hasn't he? He's really, and almost, how did he not get in the wall there? It's fantastic. Brilliant stuff there from Renzo. He judged that to perfection. I would have been very nervous and probably clouted the wall there. So yeah, very, very close indeed. As now coming down, then into turn 15. What's going? Oh, very good noises done indeed there from Renzo. And now coming onto the back straight once again. Where is DRS? Is he going to have DRS? I think he's just outside the moment. Course, that'll be within a second to get the DRS activated. Again, the same look. Granted Boy has narrowed the gap between himself and Twang. It's down to 15 seconds. Hunter is 25 seconds behind Granted Boy in 5th position. Gorilla is 9 seconds behind there, and I think Gorilla might be looking over his shoulder again. As XR is I think XR is not quick on a straight line, is he? And that might start to hurt him. And maybe I was just looking at Renzo, and he's unfortunately overshot the. Is he got out? And I think that's frustration for Renzo there. I think that he's getting frustrated in that car. As I put on the power, and he is damaged his end plate there. So Renzo dropping down and yellow flagging 1 as well. Yellow flagging 2. Whoa, what's happened here? We got figures Broke Gorilla's just having a look, see what it is. I think Broke Gorilla has had an issue somewhere. I think. No, it's Hunter! Hunter's got a problem! I was under the yellow flaggers, and it is Hunter! Hunter has got an issue at with the Haas! What's going on for Hunter? Oh no, and Hunter's cruising to the end. Is there a problem for Hunter? Remember last season he had a problem with his throttle, but I think he's now got a steering wheel, so he can convert it back. Whatever the problem is, he's got half throttle again, and this is a big blow for Hunter. Look at him, he's cruising, and this is a massive blow. We've got a yellow, this is what the yellow flag's for. And oh no, look, he's in neutral, he's got a problem, and Hunter is this is such a shame. You can see he's parked his car on the side, and he's got to get going. Is he going to be able to get going? He's got going. Well, he hasn't got going, has he? He's just rolling at the moment, and well, he's out of neutral now. As you can see, there's the leaders coming through of Emerson. He's got to be careful because Knowlesy is coming through as well. Oh my gosh, this is getting very dangerous. Hunter might need to yeah, this is the wrong part of the track to have problems with your throttle or to be cruising. He needs to be a bit further onto the left hand side, I feel, because the next one I think is has got a 3-second penalty for Renzo. The next one is Twang coming through now, and Hunter being very good awareness there. Renzo's in the pits. That's a big blow, isn't it, for Hunter? Of course, he was in 5th position, and to be honest, I think that's really I don't think he would have had any issues with staying in 5th, really, because yeah, the battle behind it was raging quite fast, wasn't it? This is he's going quicker, but that's because he's going downhill, so that's a big blow for Hunter. It really is. So Renzo's come out of the pits. He's on the hard compound tire. I don't think he had any other tires left. What is Exile doing? Is Exile now he's gaining on Broke Gorilla, isn't he? We're going to have another round here at the moment. There is Broke Gorilla in the Haas. He's back up in a 5th position then, as his teammate has unfortunately got issues of his own. So that's a big blow for Hunter, isn't it? Emerson is now almost extending the gap to 5 seconds now, as we're now coming into the twilight of this race then. So let's just take a quick look at the race order. Emerson leads on his debut. Brilliant stuff for Emerson. 2nd position is Knowlesy. 3rd position is Twang. 4th is Granty Boy. Broke Gorilla 5th. Exile is now hunted down Gorilla for 5th position. 6th position is Exile. Renzo said, oh, and I think as Exile just did he damage his front wing? He's alright. Exile in 6th, so Renzo is in 7th position on the hard compound tire. I think he might be out of the battle for 5th. Gunnar is now up into 8th position, and Hunter is still cruising. Hunter is cruising. I think he's out of the race, unfortunately. So Hunter is, unfortunately, I think he's going to call it a day. Yeah. So unfortunate for Hunter. I think it's the same problem we had in a couple of races. I should remember in Hockenheim we had the same issue. And now then his Exile is gaining. We've got a yellow flag 1. I think that's just Hunter's retirement at the moment. So then 8 cars are left out of the 19 that started, as Exile is now pushing hard to gain on a Broke Gorilla. Of course, this battle has been our interest, hasn't it, for the past for the second half of the race at least, hasn't it? It's been fairly entertaining. As I said, a lot of robust defending though from Gorilla. Now coming into the castle section now, but Gorilla is on course to score some mighty decent points there in the Haas. Of course, he's had some bad luck as of late, hasn't he? A lot of DNFs to his name, but doing a good job today. And of course, this is and he is very good around this track, and he's going to be rewarded for his pace and his consistency of getting 5th position today. I think there's a lot of robust defending there from Gorilla, as because the yellow flag is still floating around, because that's Hunter's car who's out of race. Hunter will get 2 points, so I don't think that's what Hunter really wanted, because he was on course for 10, but only 2 points for the harsh driver today, and that's a big blow indeed, really, for Hunter. Of course, that just his start of his championship has been pretty dire, really, hasn't it? And of course, the championship leader and 2nd place is out as well. So Granted Boy will move up to 2nd in the championship. Twang is also going to take some decent points out, and Knowlesy doing a good job as well. Emerson, of course, only reserve at the moment, but I'm wondering if a lot of teams might be thinking about snapping him up, because Emerson has been absolutely on fire. He might be swapping seats to begin with, but I don't think not too long he's going to be he's definitely going to be in the seat, isn't he? With this amount of pace on his debut race, he is really showing the way, isn't he? Very good pace indeed. So that is very impressive from Emerson. And so as we're just taking a look, then this is the battle for 5th and 6th at the moment. And as you see, Todd there is Gorilla there is now at 1.7 seconds back. We're into, as we said, we're now coming into the closing stages of this incredible race out there today. Absolutely incredible stuff. So yeah, it's been a difficult race, hasn't it, for a couple of drivers out there. It's been a very difficult indeed. As just taking a quick look to see what's going on out there. To be honest, been a bit quiet on the comments, unfortunately, as of late. So yeah, now we're coming in, but I think there's going to be a lot of very disappointed drivers in the paddock later on tonight. And now then, Bro Gorilla's gone into the wall there, hasn't he? And he's damaged. He hasn't damaged the other end plate there, but look at how much. Look at how much he's losing so much speed in the corners because of the damage. And you see that he's gaining again. XL is. So let's see. And that is Bug Gorilla then is coming into the pits. But looks, he is in the pits. So I think that I'm wondering if as XL moves up into 5th position now in the Toro Rosso. So good day for the Toro Rosso team indeed. Bug Gorilla is in the pits to change his front wing. He's going to the super soft tires, maybe going fast up here. Renzo is I think Renzo's just cruising to the end now, but I'm wondering now that Bug Gorilla is coming to the pits, is he in striking distance? Renzo is. I think it's going to be a big ask for Renzo to get in front of Bug Gorilla. 8 cars left out of the 19 that started. Good props to all these guys. That you see, look at the debris out of turn 1 there. And that was all from the first corner incident as well. So just watching Emerson now. I haven't seen much of Emerson, I must admit. And see, there's the harsh driver. Bug Gorilla just coming out of the pits now. We haven't seen much of the race leader, have we? Very close to being overcut as well. And unfortunately, Renzo is out of the race. So I'm wondering if he called it a day or if he hit the wall. We're on board Gunnar now. Gunnar's doing a good job as well. He's going to move into 7th position, Gunnar. So some valuable points for the McLaren team today. And Gunnar there is coming into the pits. So Gunnar in the pits as well, just slowing right down. And I think that Renzo just called it a day there, didn't he? Coming to the pits, called it a day. I think a lot of frustration in that racing point. Renzo has left the session, so it's a shame for Renzo. He had a couple of good. He was driving superbly well. He had a very good setup for this race in terms of the straight line speed. He was a monster on that back straight, wasn't he? Gunnar is in and out of the pits. He's on the medium compound tires now, and that should get him to the end of the race. As of course, car 83 doing a good Gunnar then. Of course, ever present in the league, hasn't ever present in the league since joining. Really, he's only missed I think 1 or 2 races in his ALR career. So good stuff from Gunnar. Like the commitment from this man, brilliant. And of course, also probably one of the best banterers in the league chat. And to be honest, that's one thing that I do love as a bit of banter. And so good stuff from Gunnar. Anyway, then just watching Emerson, then one of the newest members then in the ALR league, and I tell you what, to be 8.6 seconds in front of Nosey is no easy feat. Nosey getting his first ever pole position of his ALR career tonight, and really fantastic stuff indeed from Nosey in qualifying. Emerson only had 1 shot in qualifying. Don't wonder if he was able to get pole position. But none of that really matters now, does it? Because you don't get any points for qualifying, but it does help you have a good race. So anyway, 24 out of 26. Emerson leads by 8.5 seconds now from Nosey, who is second. Twang is in 3rd position. Good stuff from Twang. But Granty Boy has been homing him in. He's now 8 seconds behind. Granty in 4th position. Exile in 5th position. Hunter's left the session. Very disappointing for Hunter. Could have had 10 points on the board today. Unfortunately, he only gets 2. So Exile in 5th position. 6th position is Broke Gorilla. 7th position is Gunnar. Good stuff. Renzo is 8th, and he will get 4 points then for the racing point team. So good stuff from Renzo, and that's his first points of his career. So good stuff. Hunter unfortunately out of the race in 9th position. Issues with his throttle, I think. He's just joined the party. We'll ask him in just a second. 10th position is Chaos. So on his debut there, he will get a point. Some good stuff from Chaos. Far, unfortunately, out of the race. Crashed in the turn 3. Not that bad. Murphy and Mr. Lee had a huge accident on turn 13-14, the very fast section. Nigel, of course, was involved in the first corner incident, and then he was kind of picked up in that awful accident. And Broke Gorilla's just got the fast out of the race, so that'll be an extra couple of points there, an extra point there from Broke Gorilla. So yeah, Nigel and Bo then also get involved with that. Jonathan Cox out of the race as well, and Silent Shifting also out as well. As Kyle has just entered the league chat now. So I think, was it the same issue you had in Hockenheim last year, where your where you had a problem with your throttle?
Yeah, controller just stopped working. I don't know if you.
No worries. So Hunter will be back in just a few seconds. Yeah, because we was on board with Hunter when you just started to slow down, which was really odd, really. And it looked like you was stuck in neutral, then you was back in first, and then it looks like you was. It just looked like you had no throttle input.
Well, I don't know if you saw it on the stream, but when I had my controller, I was full throttle, but it was only giving me half and a quarter, so I think it's a problem my end. But to be honest, today's been a complete write-off anyway since turn 1, so
yeah, I must admit there was some big accidents in the first lap or two. I think, to be honest, I don't think I haven't really. I ain't gonna like. I haven't seen it back a second time, but on the first judgment, I think it might have just been just a driver error and just really a driving incident.
Well, I've just had a second look, and it looks like it all started because Nigel went a little bit wide at turn 1. As he come back, he hit the back of Farf. Yeah. Which is then spun Farf. Not Farf, sorry. It's then put Nigel into the wall, and then everyone just. It seems to have.
Just
counted from that. Yeah, and then obviously I was involved because the track was literally full, so I had nowhere to go, and a few others got caught out. But no, with all the commitments that I've had, I've just not been able to get any time in. I'm struggling with the setups and the game, so I've decided that I am going to step down for the rest of the season. I will obviously I'll still be behind the scenes doing work on that, and I will put myself down to be a reserve if we really need the numbers. But I think with everything that I've got going on at the minute, I just don't have time and what I need to do this properly, which is a bit unfortunate because I had a brilliant, we had a brilliant season 1, and it was coming second behind Nigel. I find that an achievement, but I just, with this new game, I'm having too many problems, and like I say, with other commitments outside of this, I just haven't got the time or energy to do anything about it. So unfortunately, for the time being, this will be my last race in ALR. Unfortunately, it's ended the way it has.
That's really unfortunate. We'll come back to that in just a second as Emerson wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in fine style. That's his first race and his first win as well. We'll touch on what Hunter is just talking about in just a few seconds, because I think it was yeah, so we'll touch on that unfortunate news in just a minute. Nosey was second, and I think Nosey would be disappointed to be 11 seconds back. Twang will come home to finish in third position, and what a win there from Emerson. Absolutely fantastic. Twang will finish third. Good day for Twang. He had an unserved 5-second penalty. Granty there, I think he's trying to steal the fastest lap off Broke Gorilla. This fastest lap has really added a new dynamic to this season, hasn't it? But Granty boy will finish in a full position again. I feel that apart from China, he's been involved in some first corner incidents quite a few times, hasn't he, at the moment? So he's been a bit unlucky. But Granty boy will come through to finish in a fourth position. I think he'll be happy with that recovery drive. So Granty in fourth position and gets a fast lap as well, so he gets the bonus points. So that is 13 points for Granty. That might help him later on. Exile has had a good old battle with Broke. Gunnar finishes 7th. Exile will come through to finish in 5th position, and as he's coming up to the line now, as Exile will be 5th. And Broke Gorilla then come through. This is going to be his first non-DFF in such a long time. And of course, Ayrton has just said, what a win from Emerson, absolutely fantastic. And of course, oh, he's also said amazing commentary, made the race. Oh, excellent stuff. Yeah, it says Broke Gorilla gets his first finish of the season. And well, to be honest, this race was probably kind of fizzled out a little earlier than what we liked, really, because of the issues we had at the first couple of corners. Unfortunately, that is racing, but of course that'll be looked at, won't it? Anyway, look at that, Emerson, first race in ALR, and his first victory. Fantastic stuff from the McLaren driver. Second position was at Nosey. It is in the Toro Rosso, so Nosey's best finish of the season and of his ALR career. And in third position is Twang. So Twang once again on the podium in 2 of the 4 races. He has been on the podium, so he is also he's also showing some good pace in that Mercedes. And there is the results then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Some good driving from him, so no penalties whatsoever. Nosey finished second. Third position was Twang, also that's been in the pit lane. Granty Boy did a good job too, finished 4th in the end. XR finished 5th. Gorilla, of course, from 18th to 6th. Good drive from Gorilla. 7th position is Gunnar. Excellent drive from Gunnar. 5 stops for Gunnar though. Renzo in 8th position. Hunter, issue with the throttle, and unfortunately we've just heard about his imminent retirement. Chaos in 10th position. Good stuff. And then, so those are the top 10 finishers. We'll ask Hunter a bit more about his announcement in just a few seconds then. As yeah, well, that was the first couple of laps was absolutely chaos, wasn't it? And yeah, so really that's a bit unfortunate, the news we just heard there from Hunter. So yeah, that's unfortunate to hear for Carl, but but you will be behind the scenes still, won't you, and still be part of the league setup?
Yeah, I'll still be behind the scenes, looking at new ways we can make it better, and it's going to be, like I say, I'm not saying it's going to be further. You know, I could easily be back for season 3, and like I say, I will in a couple of races time put myself down on the reserve list for if we really need drivers. But I just think with what stuff I've got going on outside of obviously racing, I don't have the time or energy to carry on at this moment in time. So I mean, it is a little bit upsetting, but you know, you just have to look at the positives. I mean, it's been an amazing first season. First few races haven't been brilliant, but you've just got to look on the bright side, I suppose.
And you finished second in your debut season as well. So yeah, I think it's when you haven't got the rub of the green, and it is very difficult to get on a roll. So that's unfortunate. We'll miss Hunter on track, and his great starts, his great determination, and yeah, that's a bitter blow. Anyway, then let's go to the guys that have just joined the party. Hello. Let's go to Emerson first, because an absolutely fantastic drive, Emerson, from second on the grid. A beautiful start. To us, we missed a bit of I think the overtake, mainly because there was chaos behind. But an absolutely fantastic drive. And I think you're fairly new to league racing, aren't you? So I've actually compared you to Kimi Räikkönen in terms of your experience before going into Formula One. But take us through the race from your perspective.
Well, I was behind. I was in second, and then a couple of laps in, I managed to overtake into first, and I was into first. And then about lap 10 in the castle section, I lost a part of my front wing, so I then came in, and then my teammate had only just come in as well. So I had a really long pit stop, and then I managed to do a really good outlap and just get out ahead and get back into first, and then just cruise to victory from there afterwards.
Ah, so because I was speculating whether Nosey was just a lot quicker on the overcut, but you made a mistake at the castle section, and it all just you were very lucky to come out, because I think it was like a second when you come out before Nosey was only a second behind you, wasn't he? So that was cutting a bit close then, wasn't it?
Yeah, we literally came out side by side. But yeah, I've done that. Well, it was like a 12-second pit stop, so I had to change my front wing and then double stuck as well with my teammate. But yeah.
And how did you enjoy your first league race in ALR then? Well, I think you must have enjoyed it pretty much then, considering the fact that you was out in front. Seemed like it was a bit of a Sunday cruise towards the end.
Well, yeah, it was fun, but it was relatively an easy race, but just did very good, yeah.
Well, that's very ominous then for the rest of the drivers then. But excellent to have you along with us, and really enjoyed you racing today. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon in a couple more races. Congrats as well on your first race win in your first race. That's immense.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
No worries, don't worry about it. And let's go to Nosey now, shall we? Of course, his first ever pole position of his career, and he finished second, and that's also his best result as well of his career in ALR. But Nosey, you disappointed about the victory today, or do you feel it was just out of reach?
It was definitely out of reach. I wasn't disappointed in the end, because I was no way I was going to keep up with him. So big congratulations to him for just blitzing that race and disappearing into the distance. So,
and to be honest, I must admit, a lot of the race I was actually focused on the battles like further down the grid, so I didn't really see much of what was going on up front. But did you see what happened at the start? It was an almighty accident, and then we had an almighty second accident as well. Did you, for anything from your point of view, did you see what was going on behind you?
No, from myself and Emerson's point of view, we were just flying off into the distance at that stage. So didn't see anything like that. I couldn't keep him behind me for the first. Well, I kept him behind me for the first couple of laps, and then after that, I think his tyres were more switched on than I was, and he just disappeared. I thought I might have a bit of a chance with the damage that he had, because he was in the same party as me, so he told me he had a bit of damage. But then, yeah, after we both got back on the same sort of stint, he just disappeared again. So no, there was no catching him today.
And then let's just touch on your magnificent pole position lap then. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It looks like you nailed that. Yeah, how was that? I bet that was a bit of satisfaction, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was absolutely buzzing with that one. So, I can't remember what I did now. I did a 38.6, I think it was, in the first one in Q3, and then I absolutely smashed it in the second run, and gained about 5 tenths on that. And yeah, it was really just putting the best lap I could together, and it all came into one. And luckily I didn't crash in the castle section.
Fantastic stuff. Congrats, Nosey, on your best ever weekend event in ALR, and hopefully you can build on this and maybe get a championship campaign together. And let's go to Twan now, as we said, as I was saying in the qualifying session earlier. One of our fan favourites. He's always in the comments, or he's always chatting to us. So Twan, I must admit, again, we didn't see much of you today, to be honest, because there's chaos behind in the first corner. But again, this is your second podium visit out of 4 races, and you missed China as well. So I tell you what, your consistency is really starting to pay off this season.
Yeah, it's really good to have a bit of consistency. I mean, I didn't feel like it was that good actually, because my qualifying I could probably get another 3-4 tenths in the qualifying session, but because of a few mistakes and also in the race I got shoved off into the wall quite early. I'll have to look back at the footage if I can post that on the racing incident, but later on. But so I had a damaged front wing, so I couldn't really get up to the top 2, but still a pretty decent effort, I think.
I was going to say, it's a magnificent race, because your strategy was compromised because of the damage to begin with. And I was going to touch on that actually, because again, there was all sorts going on in the first couple of laps. It was pretty hard to keep up. But so a very well recovery drive. And yeah, in terms of then of you challenging then with Farf and Jonathan Cox having a pretty poor day, and Granty Boy finishing behind you, how are you feeling then going forward this season?
I mean, it's absolutely good for me to not have them score that many points, because it makes it easier for me. But at the same time, it's a bit of a shame for some of them to finish outside the points. I mean, we are here to have fun, and it's not that fun when you crash out quite early. So
indeed it is. I must admit I was a victim of that, and that's why I got relegated to the commentary box. As I found more time I was staring at the screen. Anyway, yeah. So congrats to all three of our podium winners today. Been magnificent stuff. Great to talk to you all. And of course, unfortunately, do end on a sad note. As Hunter, our season 1 runner-up, has decided to call it a day in terms of on-track action, but he will be behind the scenes. And it's still keeping the admins on the straight and narrow, especially me. But of course, join us in a week's time, as we'll be in the Spanish capital for in Barcelona for the Grand Prix of Spain. I look forward to see you all there, because and hopefully we'll have more racers after the first couple of laps after this spectacular opening few laps here in Azerbaijan. So yeah, join us in a week's time, same channel, and of course if you ain't there, you're square. See you later. Goodbye.